Tonight on Newswatch 18, hear about the precautionary measures being taken by a metro school after a social media threat.
And gas prices are getting lower, but does that mean it's time for gas taxes to get higher?
This basketball season is already heating up. I'll have the details.
Plus, warmer temperatures are on the way. You're watching Newswatch 18.
This is Newswatch 18. Newswatch 18 starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch 18. I'm Jessica Van Wyk.
And I'm Russell Obernolte.
Southeast Polk High School will again have heightened security Wednesday as part of ongoing precautions against a threat made on social media. Officers from the Pleasant Hill Police Department stopped students at the school's front door and looked through bags Tuesday morning. School administrators requested law enforcement perform a similar routine Wednesday morning. Police officials are still trying to determine the source of the anonymous threat against the school posted Saturday evening on the social media site Yik Yak.
Holocaust State Gym, ISU students loaded up with cases of energy drinks and a mountain of potato chips to help fight cancer. Up Till Dawn, an annual event to raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, took place on November 14th from 11:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. Throughout the event, students danced, made crafts, ate walking tacos, took pictures with Psy, and watched demonstration from the Cyclone Martial Arts Club after hearing stories from cancer survivors. A total of $58,200 was raised during this year's event.
The Ames police will be adding e-cigs and e-cig accessories to the list of items bought during their compliance checks for underage buy-steens. This is in response to a new Iowa law that took effect on July 1st of this year. The new Iowa law bans the sale of electronic cigarettes, vape pens, and their accessories to minors. Iowa stores that sell these products now also need a permit to do so. Cashiers caught selling e-cigs to minors can be fined $100 for their first offense and $500 for their third.
After his re-election to an unprecedented sixth term earlier this month, Governor Terry Branstad is considering an increase to the state gasoline tax in the coming year. Branstad said price of gasoline has gone down recently, making the upcoming legislative session a better time to look at a tax increase to maintain roads and bridges. Iowa's current gasoline tax is between 19 and 22 cents per gallon, depending on what type of fuel is purchased.
Iowa State University has teamed up with the Iowa Department of Aging and the Iowa Alzheimer's Association in order to increase the access to dementia care and services for Iowans. Director of Iowa State's gerontology department says that families who are affected by dementia often do not know where to turn for help. The hope for the new partnership between the university, the IIA, and the IDA is that Iowans will now have better access to dementia care at a resource center called Lifelong Links, which is run by the IDA. The team will focus on a 3-year study at Lifelong Links in order to discover how to best grow the program.
Tomorrow evening, the National Acrobats of China will be visiting Ames. The National Acrobats of China were created in 1951 and are one of the most famous acrobatic groups in China. In 1972, they came to the United States and were invited as guests to the White House. Since then, they have traveled 500 cities and over 70 countries. The show tomorrow evening will be held at Stevens Auditorium at 7 p.m. and the cost will range from $26 to $49.
Facebook's new data center located in Altoona had its grand opening on Friday. Facebook's Altoona campus opened the first of 3 buildings that will be operational when the project is completed. The social media giant chose Altoona for several reasons, but one of the main allures of Iowa was our wind energy resources. The new Facebook facility is run by 100% wind energy that comes from a wind farm in Wellsburg, Iowa. When the campus is completed, it will employ 75 workers and be operational 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
With the increasing amount of student enrollment in the past 3 years, the Department of Residence is starting to feel the constraints of providing housing for students. One way to respond is to build a new dorm that is expected to hold more than 700 more students. The new dorm will go into the area adjacent to Buchanan Hall. The estimated budget for the project is $40 million. Before any ground can break, the building and budget must first receive approval from the Board of Regents at the December 3rd meeting. The department hopes to break ground on the project next May and to have the dorm ready for students by December of 2016.
Iowa State students celebrated International Food Day on this day. ISU TV's Jenna Urich has the details.
I'm here at the opening of International Week, and tonight is food night with over 10 different countries being represented.
Hundreds of Iowa State students and Ames community members filed into the St. Thomas Aquinas Church on Thursday, November 13th to celebrate International Week. International Food Night is an opportunity to try traditional dishes from around the world. Some of the countries that were represented include Korea, China, Japan, and Indonesia.
I had some dal puri tonight from the India Student Association, and I'm looking forward to trying hopefully everything else here.
Hall said that in order to prepare for International Food Night, the co-chairs contact a variety of different places and groups to see if they would like to participate in the event.
The main goal is just to be a part of International Week, just to represent everybody's culture, kind of awareness of international student community in Ames, in Iowa State. And actually the goal will be have 250 people coming to join us, and right now we have 400. So
with the outstanding numbers from the event this year, expectations for next year's International Food Night are set high.
With photographer Brittany Gamble, I'm Jenna Urich for ISU TV.
And now we're joined at the desk by Alex. Alex, we've heard a lot of hype about the men's basketball program so far this year. Is it holding up to all the expectations?
It is, and then some. I'll tell you more after the break. Stay tuned. You're watching Newswatch 18. Welcome back to Newswatch 18. I'm Alex Foltz. The women's cross-country team ran to a victory Friday as they secured their 5th consecutive regional title at the Newman Golf Course in Peoria, Illinois. The Cyclone women held the lead for the last 3 kilometers of the race. Katie Moen and Crystal Nelson were the team's top 2 runners, placing 4th and 5th overall. Always a team, Aaron Hooker and Perez Rotic tied for 13th as they crossed the line together. Heidi Engelhart placed 30th overall as the 5th runner. Iowa State was the only team to have all 5 runners in the top 30. With this victory, the women will advance to the NCAA Championships Saturday in Terre Haute, Indiana, for the 6th consecutive time. The wrestling team had a great start to the dual season with wins over both Utah Valley and Boise State Friday in Boise. The Utah Valley score was 39-4, and the Boise State score was 36-8. They will return to the mat Thursday as they face Central Michigan at Mount Pleasant. Cyclone hockey did not have a good weekend, though, as they lost Friday to Illinois in Champaign and again Saturday in a rematch. They're able to make the first goal Friday night, but ultimately lost as the Fighting Illini put 2 goals in the net in the 3rd period, making the score 3-1 at the end. The Saturday match was closer, but the Cyclones still lost as Illinois scored 2 goals to Iowa State's 1. The team returns to the ice on Friday as they face Colorado State at 8 p.m. The women's basketball team started the season off right as they defeated USC Upstate. ISU TV's Matt Barker has the story.
The Iowa State University women's basketball team defeated the University of South Carolina Upstate here at Hilton Coliseum by a score of 98-76.
Iowa State cannot lose at Hilton Coliseum. Their latest win against the University of South Carolina Upstate Spartans marked their 78th consecutive win against a non-conference team at Hilton Coliseum. In her first career game, true freshman Brianna Fernstrom scored 25 points for the Cyclones. This was the most points ever scored by a true freshman. She played a huge role in the Cyclones' rout of the Spartans.
She had been playing the best in practice. It wasn't anything that she stood out completely better than anyone, but we felt she gave us the best chance to score. I really worried about us having the ability to make shots around the basket and finish. So, and it was kind of an accident. All her high school buddy, her team was here today to watch her, so that was kind of a bonus. But it was just mainly a staff decision based on what we'd seen in the exhibition games. We stat every practice. So if you looked at her statistics in practice and in the exhibition games, she warranted the opportunity, and to her credit, she made the most of it.
Bryn Williamson also charted her first career double-double with 13 points and 12 rebounds. The Cyclones shot 48% from the floor and only 38% from behind the arc. Defense is something they will look to work on, allowing the Spartans 76 points.
Certainly defensively, to say we're a work in progress might be an understatement, but we better get better, a lot better before Tuesday, or the 98 might be on the other side of the scoreboard.
The Iowa State women's basketball team looks to continue their momentum against Drake here at Hilton Coliseum on Tuesday. For ISU TV, I'm Matt Barker.
TCU Saturday. This is the team's 4th consecutive win.
The Cyclones took on the TCU Horned Frogs here at Hilton Coliseum and defeated the Horned Frogs in 3 sets to 2.
Morgan Kurt had a terrific night. We set her a lot of balls that are, we call them out of system, bump setting her balls and out of the back row, and she's handled that so well. Kurt had some stretches where she was dominating and taking over the game offensively and defensively, blocking. Morgan Kurt is very good if we have to bump set or, we don't have a great, we can't get up the perfect setup to who we want. So we tend to go to her quite a bit on those kind of scramble, weird situations, and she just handles it very, very well. If she doesn't get a kill, she's going to put some pressure on the other team by making the setter play the ball or, putting it in a good spot. So we've learned to kind of go to her in those situations. I'm thrilled that, it sounds very simple, but, if we're going to be a great team, as we are becoming a great team at the end of the season, your team hitting percentage has to go up. That's the number one thing correlated with winning and losing is your team hitting percentage. And our team hitting percentage has been below 200 in the conference. That's just not going to get it done. Now we're starting to hit 230, 240. I think the other night we hit 290. Those are numbers that are going to win us championships and get us, deep run in the NCAA tournament. And it sounds simple. There's a lot that goes into that, but if you don't have a very good team hitting percentage, it's going to be hard to go very far. So I'm thrilled to see that hitting percentage go up. Part of the reason it's going up is because I think we're serving tough and blocking and defending better.
The Cyclones look to carry their momentum at Kansas on November 19th. For ISU TV, I'm Matt Barker.
The men's basketball team had a great couple of games as they won both Friday night and last night at home. Friday, they defeated Oakland 93-82. George Niang joined Iowa State's 1,000-point club this game as he had 30 points. Monday night, the team defeated Georgia State 81-58. This victory, coupled with Friday's, makes 22 straight games that the Cyclones have won against non-conference opponents. The team also had more assists than turnovers for the second straight game. They will return to the court next Monday as they face off against Alabama in Kansas City, Missouri. And that's it for tonight's Cyclone Sports Report. Brandon, are we looking at another temperature drop this week?
Yeah, well, actually, temperatures might be warming up, and we have a little bit of everything in the forecast. We're talking freezing drizzle, rain, and, yes, some more snow, and I'll have some more coming up in just a minute. Back to Newswatch 18. Currently outside the studio here in Ames, we're seeing 16 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Winds are out of the southeast at 5 miles an hour, and the dew point is at 9 degrees, making for a colder feel outside. Highs today, we did make it up to 22 here, 26 in Des Moines, and Council Bluffs made it up to 28, so warmer to the southwest part of the state. As we look at our current winds, they are increasing as the night goes on, and we're still seeing 5 here in Ames with 10 in Fort Dodge, so heavier winds up to the north, and they will be increasing overnight tonight and bringing up that warmer temperatures from the south. Current conditions right now, again, 16 in Ames, 22 in Des Moines, and 18 in Ottumwa. So generally teens to 20s for most of the state right now, and clouds are moving in as we speak, and that'll show right here. Precipitation is trying to move in. It's hard to say whether or not this is making it to the ground or not. So it could be parts like Sioux City and Fort Dodge could be seeing flurries right now, but I don't expect much accumulations, and certainly we'll keep that snow light. Now, where we don't want to talk about or be right now is Buffalo, New York. I had to point this out because this is not a glitch in the radar. This is what we call lake effect snow, and it's just constantly hammering that part of the country. They could be seeing snow totals up to 40 inches, and some areas have reported 5 feet of snow so far just from this storm system. And current watches and warnings, it's quiet here in Iowa, but you will see off again, to parts of New York, they do have that lake effect snow warning and other winter storm warnings right now. Lows tonight, we're going to get down to 17 here in Ames, generally in the teens with 11 in Mason City, 15 in Fort Dodge, and a nice 20 in Council Bluffs. Again, warmer as you go to the southwest. Highs tomorrow, it will be warmer than we've seen in the past few days with highs in the upper 20s for most of the state. So again, a nice relief from those temperatures that we've been seeing today and for the past week. Futurecast is going to show these clouds and chance of snow for the northern part of the state move in tonight, overnight, and through Wednesday, tomorrow. But as Wednesday moves on, we will see those clouds move out, and we're looking at a nice day for Thursday night and into Thursday. And for tonight, we're seeing 18 degrees, windy conditions. Those winds are south, 8 to 14 miles an hour, gusting to 20 miles an hour. Tomorrow, 23, scattered flurries, and the winds are going to, again, increase. That'll blow around some of the snow we have left on the ground. West winds 15 to 18 miles an hour, gusting to 29. As we look at the extended forecast, we will see some relief. As you'll see, we'll stay in the 20s until about Friday, where we do have a chance of freezing drizzle overnight, and we will make it up to 31 with an overnight low of 8, so that's where that freezing drizzle comes in. And look at this, 42 degrees on Saturday, so we are making it back into the more average temperatures for this time of year. And with that 40s will come a chance of rain, but it won't last long as we see some snow creeping back into the forecast, and temperatures will drop back down into the 20s, unfortunately. So make sure you keep an eye on that. That's all I have, guys. Back to you.
Last Wednesday, Iowa State held its second annual Community Veterans Supper. Iowa's Mike Specht has the story.
The Iowa State Veterans Center hosted the second annual Iowa State Community Supper Memorial Union Wednesday, November 12th. The supper honored Iowa State military veterans and active service members. Veterans, ISU faculty, students, and community members attended the event, which was open to the public. Senior Vice President and Provost Jonathan Wickert spoke at the event and was followed by 2 student speakers. ISU Veterans Service Coordinator Jathan Chacoin gave the event's closing remarks. According to Chacoin, this year's events saw greater participation from the Ames and Iowa State communities.
As you can see, we have a lot of people here in terms of wide range of people from ISU faculty, staff, and students. We also we have a lot of community members, and I think that's one of the ways that it's grown this year is that we've really reached out. We have a lot of family members coming from, within the community members. So that's exciting.
Sponsors for the supper included the Office of the President, Office of the Senior Vice President and Provost, the Iowa State Memorial Union, and unanimous support from every Iowa State college. This year's event focused on honoring Vietnam-era veterans. In the future, Chacoin sees the event continuing to create a greater bond.
Well, I think any time that you can bring people together around a shared experience, a way to come together around food, just in a humble show of support, I think that it facilitates greater connections with one another. And I think it's important that we even provide those who might feel removed from veterans issues opportunities to connect in ways that might facilitate deeper empathy and understanding.
With Variety Wate, this is Mark Specht for ISU TV.
And go for Game 3.
And that's it for tonight's edition of Newswatch 18.
Be sure to tune in on Thursday for more cyclone news, weather, and sports.
Stay gold, Names.